Let's take a look at this Yamaha Twin-Cylinder scooter. I forgot exactly which year this machine is from. One of these two original screws is missing. The one on the right is clearly an aftermarket replacement. Today I saw Chow GE repairing this TMAX 530 while scrolling through my feed. And I thought, hey, I also have a video of disassembling this engine. I almost forgot to post it. This footage is actually from back in January. So, let me take you all to see the internal structure of this engine. Multi-cylinder engines are common in manual bikes, but a twin-cylinder scooter is quite rare. Not to mention 3 or 4-cylinder scooters. Those are even more unlikely. Currently, only Yamaha and Kymco have them in mass production. Let's look inside the left crankcase. The Magneto stator coil is located here. Let's check this small inspection window. It uses a Japanese NTN bearing. The clutch on this TMAX is a wet clutch system. Regarding the clutch, I'll show it to you in detail once it's fully disassembled. Now I'm removing the idler gear. As for the Magneto, pull it off with a flywheel puller. It's the same as on the Yamaha Tianjian or Jima 150. On single-cylinder scooters, the transmission is usually mounted on the left side. But the structure of this twin-cylinder scooter is the complete opposite. The Magneto is on this side. These two ports are for the throttle bodies. The throttle bodies are mounted on the cylinder head. Those who ride 4-cylinder bikes aren't necessarily rich, but those who ride twin-cylinder scooters, I believe they are definitely wealthy. After all, this thing costs over 100,000 renminbi. Buying a scooter for over 100,000. Those who don't know would think he's crazy. But you see, the joy of the wealthy can't be measured by money. The cylinder head structure of this twin-cylinder scooter is similar to a standard twin-cylinder manual bike. As you can see, it's a dual overhead cam, DOHC. It also has camshaft caps. There's no significant wear on this cap. Let's check the other side. Also no wear. It's still good for use. The camshaft also shows no wear. The camshaft is made of forged alloy steel. No doubt about it. Yamaha, oh Yamaha. They've always been generous with engine materials. This red liquid, it has a fragrant aroma. Can you guess what kind of wine it is? Let's look at the valves. The valves are fine too. They just need a light lapping. This TMAX 530 is a synchronous twin-cylinder engine. Look, everyone, this engine is a twin-cylinder through and through. For scooters, based on their characteristics, manufacturers generally don't choose asynchronous setups, like a 180-degree asynchronous crank, but a 270-degree asynchronous might be used. Let's check the cylinder. It's a ceramic-plated cylinder. This is not a standard cast iron sleeve. Admire this. There's almost zero wear. The crosshatch marks are still shiny and clearly visible. Now let's look at the pistons. It uses forged pistons. Yamaha even uses forged pistons for the Jog 125. So for this model, it's a given. These are all normal signs of use. They can still be used. The transmission is on the right side. Single-cylinder scooters have them on the left. Removing the front drive pulley. Inside are the same variator weights, roller weights. And here is the rear drive pulley. The front and rear pulleys are of a dual clutch style. But I forgot to film the drive belt. I think it's from Bando, Japan. I'll show it later if another bike comes in. For this machine, the owner reported it wouldn't move even when giving it gas after a repair. The reason is obvious at first glance, isn't it? This spring plate in the middle was installed backward. Since it's already here, the owner asked me to strip it down and check everything. Right here under my hand. If this is backward, the clutch plates will remain in a disengaged state. That's why it won't move when you throttle up. You can see the FCC logo here. Let's check the clutch plates. The plates are in great condition. Not much wear at all. Look at these plates. They look just like manual bike plates, right? But they are divided into 3 types. The current 530 has been upgraded to the 560. The bore increased from 68 mm to 70 mm. Horsepower went from 44.9 to 47.6. Let's look at the timing chain. It uses a Borg-Warner timing chain. Alright, since you've watched this far, please give the video a like. Splitting the crankcase. The crankshaft bearings are clearly from Dado, Japan. Now let's look at the other bearings. These are NSK bearings from Japan. Here I am removing the gearbox gears. Well, no need to look closely at these. There's some sediment at the bottom of the casing. That's not a big deal. Just wash it clean later. This thing is known as a 2.5-cylinder engine. Why is that? Let's take a look at its half-cylinder. See? It also has a connecting rod and a piston. That's why it's so unique. This is its balancer mechanism. The balancer piston looks like this. The top is open. And the cylinder for it is also open. Meaning there is no compression involved. Its only function is as a balancer shaft. Let me demonstrate it for you. Synchronous engines usually have high vibration. You probably know that. Yamaha used this method to solve it. Quite a creative design. Very unique, isn't it? So when it comes to engines, I believe Yamaha is the true master of technology. That's why I disagree with the internet saying technological Honda. I really don't agree. I think it should be called technological Yamaha, though they don't brag about it. Honda doesn't even have a twin-cylinder scooter. And for the single-cylinder NMAX 155, Yamaha even gave it electronic variable valve actuation, VVA. And on the 2025 NMAX 155, the front drive pulley is also electronic. Yamaha really knows how to play the game. The balancer is in normal working condition. The crankshaft looks fine as well. No issues with the connecting rods. Let me take out this balancer piston to show you. This is what it looks like. It has its own rod and piston. Yes, a piston. But they have very peculiar shapes. Who would have thought Yamaha would use this method for a balancing system? Let's check the connecting rod bearings. Clearly, there are no scuff marks. Take a look. These are ventilated bearings from Dado, Japan. The bearings show normal wear. They can continue to be used. The crankshaft is also in great shape. Almost zero visible wear. This part is for the balancer. The rods are all fine. Also no significant wear. The crosshatch marks are still there. So, what exactly should we classify this thing as? I'll leave that for you guys to discuss. Since I haven't been making scooter content for very long, my knowledge of various scooter models isn't extremely deep. So my content still focuses primarily on the engine. The components have been cleaned with an ultrasonic cleaner. But this machine is quite old. The exterior aluminum has started to oxidize. The ultrasonic cleaner is mainly to ensure the inside is perfectly clean. The external oxidation can be treated too. But honestly, it's not strictly necessary. You'd need an electrolyte for that. Basically dilute sulfuric acid. Soak it and scrub it, and it'll come out clean. If you're overprotective of your scooter, you can use this method. But iron parts should focus on rust prevention. Installing the clutch correctly now. The previous issue was caused by this clutch. The spring plate inside was backward, causing it not to move. By the way, don't forget to like the video. Let me ask you a question. What engine displacement for a scooter do you feel suits you best? For instance, as for me, I personally don't like maxi scooters. The number one in my heart is the Yamaha NMAX 155. I don't like them too big, whether in terms of technology, specs, or materials. I believe the NMAX 155 has no rivals in its displacement class. The 2025 model even adds an electronic variator, and it already has variable valves. Of course, with all these features, it certainly won't be cheap. It's nearly 30,000 renminbi. The scooter that ranks second in my heart is a 50 cubic centimeters one, the Sundairo Honda Today 50. Too bad it's out of production. Yamaha bolts need to be torqued and then angle tightened. So these old Yamahas aren't easy to assemble. The Today 50 was only around 6,000 renminbi. Nowadays, an electric bike costs 4,000 or 5,000, and after 2 or 3 years of use, they are basically falling apart. But a Sundairo Honda 50, if you take care of it, riding it for 10 years isn't a problem. Fuel consumption is only 1.x liters per 100 kilometers. No charging anxiety. No range anxiety. Many electric bikes aren't allowed inside buildings anymore. Charging has become a major issue. It's fine if you have your own house or land. But for those in apartment complexes, it's a real hassle. Everyone has a different driving style and different preferences. So, to everyone watching, what is the perfect displacement in your mind? This batch was also ultrasonically cleaned, but I forgot to film the transmission assembly. So I'll just skip to the final walkaround video. The startup audio is a bit distorted. I suggest you bear with me. Don't worry, it's done. Take a look at the temperature gauge on this bike.